Hey guys, welcome to the first video of EUL Tech. And today we're going to go in depth all about export settings and the reasons for them. And it's going to be different than other YouTubers have recommended, and there's some really good proof for that. So we're going to really go into that. And I'm going to link on EUL Gaming website our kind of parent channel with the downloading the presets. If you got questions, you can come and talk. But first, I kind of want to back up and say, I'm making content with EUL Gaming. I co-own the channel with one of my friends, Jeff. We both make content for this channel, and we're really having some questions about, how are we exporting in 4K? How does it look so good when other YouTube videos, maybe don't necessarily look that good? So this isn't just for gaming. This can be for anything. You should go subscribe to our channel, both EUL Tech and EUL Gaming. But we're going to dive right in. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure your sequence and timeline is selected. Make sure you have in and out points set. And then you're going to go up to File, Export, Media. And we're actually going to go over a proxy export. So a proxy export is something where it is a lower quality and it exports faster so someone can take notes on it. Let's say you have a client revision, something like that. But you still want it to be in 4K, so it's true to like what the quality. Maybe the client will be like, why are you exporting in 1080p when I want it in 4K? So the first thing that you're going to select for YouTube specifically is H.264. You're going to rename the file, and then you're going to make sure you match source. So mine's already matched. You're going to click on that. It's going to match your frame rate, everything, the aspect ratio. Now, the first setting that we're actually going to uncheck is the render at maximum depth. Make sure that's unchecked. So Larry Jordan, who is a world-renowned editor, he basically said this setting is just irrelevant. Does not do anything in terms of quality on H.264. So because we're exporting for proxy, I want to have a faster encoding time. So I'm going to select hardware encoding. Now, hardware encoding is only available on 7th gen and later Intel CPUs that have QuickSync enabled in the BIOS. So I have that available. You may not. This is just kind of, you might have to pick software encoding, but it's a good thing to know if you can do hardware encoding because it will speed up the render time. The next thing that you're going to want to do is the bit rate. So we're going to do a one pass. Again, because we're exporting to H.264, it's going to YouTube. There is no point to doing a two pass. There's no added quality because of the compression. Now YouTube, because we're at 4K, recommends 66 as the minimum. So we're going to make sure that is set to 66. And then make sure that use maximum render quality is also unchecked. That is, again, I have the reason in here, it's not needed if you have a GPU. So that is the preset number one, and you can download it right here. Okay, preset number two is, let's say you're finished. The client loves this video. So now you want to go to a high quality 4K file. Again, it's going to be an H.264. And you're going to make sure, obviously, that the match source is selected, your frame rate, all that. Make sure this is also unchecked. It's not going to do anything. But now, performance, we're going to software encoding. This is going to increase the amount of time. The profile is also going to get bumped up to a higher broadcast setting, so high 10. This unlocks now level 6.0, which is basically the algorithm's way of figuring out at what bit rate and frame rate and resolution is best for the encoder. So we're going to keep scrolling down. You're going to notice that the maximum bitrate is now selectable. So based upon YouTube's recommendation, the minimum is again 66. The maximum, although YouTube does not care, you could go 100, 200. YouTube does not care. I do 85 because I don't really want to increase file size. But the trade-off and benefit is, though, let's say you're on a mobile phone or kind of a cheaper device, that 66 is going to be able to play back still at 4K, but it's going to be a lower bit rate. It's not going to press their computer, their CPU as much in the decoding process. But if you're on like a nice 4K TV, high-end gaming rig, we're going to see a little bit extra quality boost out of that. So that's why we're at 85 for that. So it's kind of like there's a trade-off. It's a nice way to kind of customize your experience for any user. So that's kind of the overview of that. And we're going to say Q, and then it's going to bring up Media Encoder. And again, I'm going to provide the resource right here. You can download the preset. If you have any questions, come talk to me. I have linked all of the kind of professional sources of why I chose the settings that I did right here, and then kind of the reason that I came up with, and then the setting right here. So you'll just want to go to eulgaming.com, and then there's going to be under tech, and then it's going to be under the blog. So if you go to EUL Tech, and then go to the best export settings, this will pull this page up, and then you can go download the presets. So hopefully that this was helpful. This is a super quick overview. I'm probably going to go more in depth on, coloring and the Lumetri settings in a later video, but I hope that this was something that is useful. Please leave a comment, and I really want to know what your guys' kind of feedback is. What settings do you guys use? Do you agree or disagree? Play around with the settings that I have. Go download those presets and customize them yourself. If that's something that you would want to do. And hope you enjoy this video, and we'll see you in the next one.